Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Adults Boxing. We back again. We got the new WBC rankings that just came out for the month of July, so we're going to cover those real quick. I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe for sure. Salute to the playback as well. Appreciate you guys. So we do a screen share. We go straight to the WBC website. Boom, there you have it right there. All right, so start with the heavyweight division. Of course, you know we have a new champ. We have so Ajit Kabiel has been elevated to full WBC champion. He was the interim champion, uh, one of the best out there right now. You know what I'm saying? He deserved his opportunity at a big fight, and he deserved the Usyk fight. But given the fact that Usyk vacated his titles and moved on, so Cabiel he can start his reign. So this is good. When these unified and undisputed champions vacate titles, it opens up the division, make it more competitive, make it more create more parity. So, let's see what Cabiel has next. In a perfect world, we'll see Cabiel versus Daniel Dubois unification. That'd be dope. They're both on the same side, you know what I'm saying, with Queensberry. Queensberry is where it's at with the heavyweight division. Like, if you ain't with Queensberry, it ain't really popping like that. So that would be the best. That would be like the perfect world scenario. But I suspect Cabiel to make another defense back in Germany. He had a good showing in Germany when he fought Damian Kimba in January. That shit was dope out there. It looked crazy on TV. So maybe he can come back. My guess, if he was going to do that, it would be Guido Vanello. He just signed with Queensberry. Well, he been signed with them, but I guess they just announced it yesterday. That would be my choice. I know there's other guys, more notable guys in these rankings that he can probably do some business with, but I can see Guido. Maybe Guido he had like one fight with Queensberry, a welcome to Queensberry fight, but I can see that down the line. Um, Tyson Fury is fighting Marius Watt, but he has a fight signed with AJ, and if they win, if both of those guys win their tuna fights, they should fight at the end of the year. Lawrence Okolie tested positive for a bad substance. He's still in the rankings, so maybe he trying to dispute his case. I'm not sure. Moses Otama, now he has a lot of options, like for sure. He locked in with a fight with Philip Herkovic. That's August the 29th. The IBF ordered him to face Frank Sanchez, and he's also number one with the WBA. So he has a lot of options, and he'll be world champ for sure. You know what I'm saying? If he beats Herkovic, I think he'll definitely have an opportunity to be world champ. Frank Sanchez, he's the IBF mandatory. He's gonna fight for the vacant IBF next against who? I don't know, but he's gonna fight for that. Uh Wilder up in there. Usyk trying to fight Wilder. Let's see if that actually comes to fruition. Rico, now I know Rico got that ranking off of the Usyk fight, but is he going to continue in his quest in the heavyweight division? Let's see. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the second go around, the other fighters gonna have him scouted. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Usyk had him scouted for sure. Let me see. That's what Otto Wallen is. He signed with Zuffa. He's going to fight on the July 29th card on Zuffa Boxing with Berlanga and Hitchens. So that's what it is. Heavyweight division. Bridgerweight. This division is kind of like obsolete type shit, right? Bruce Gas in the building was good. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that for sure. Jimmy Birchfield. I didn't know he was ever with him. I thought Guido was with. I know he was with Top Rank for a time. He was managed by. Damn, what's the dude's name? There was some young guys. He had the same management team as Joe Joyce. I forgot them guys' name. They was like proteges of Sam Jones. I forgot their name, but I don't think he was ever with him. Jimmy Birchfield. Hakan in the building. What's good with you? Yeah, Sam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That group. Yeah, yeah. But I forgot the kid's name. The redhead kid, man. Uh, Joe Joyce guy too. Yeah. What's the other kid name? I know Adam, but what's the other one? The redhead kid. There it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shane Watts. There you go. There you go. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know Guido was with them. I'm not sure if he's still with them, but yeah, he was with them. Steph in the building. What's good with you, bro? Yo, the Bridgeweight division, ain't really too much to talk about. Riyad Mary is the new WBC Bridgeweight champion. Y'all saw that the WBA got rid of the Bridgeweight. Um, I don't really think this division really matters, to be honest. And this came about because the WBC they honored the young man that got bit by a dog and all that shit. So like, I don't think it really means nothing. So we're gonna skip past it, to be honest. That's just it's kind of a weird division, especially when Usyk was the unified champion and he weighed in like 223, and the weight limit is 224. That's always been weird. Archer was there. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I know those guys. Well, I know Shane. I had some good talks with Shane. Yeah, that's what's up. So Guido, getting an opportunity. He ain't looked bad in his last couple of fights either. So yeah, hopefully let's see him back. Noel McCallan. So him and David Benavidez are in negotiations for a 3-belt unification. Look like it may happen in the fall. McCallan is with Don King, and him and Sampson looking like they're gonna do a deal. You know, it's crazy how it kind of came about. So David Benavidez is definitely locked in with the WBC because they ordered him as unified champion to fight the WBC champ. They probably should do that more in boxing, to be honest. I always believe that if it's multiple title holders in a division, they are each other's mandatories first. You know what I'm saying? Before we get to the rankings and all that. But y'all know how that is. And that's an interesting fight though, because McCallan can fight. He's been at the weight class for a minute, but David Benavidez is in his prime right now as one of the best. Michael Cieslak is the interim champ. It's been like a lot of back and forth stuff going on with the top of the WBC cruiserweight rankings. They going back and forth with interim champions and mandatories and all that crazy shit that's going on. So hopefully they can solidify that. If they get that 3-belt unification, then there's only one fight left to do. The winner of that, Benavidez and McCallan, got to fight Jai Bataille. Like all politics aside, that's the fight that fans should be asking for. You see, Jai's number one. He'll form a champ. He should still be IBF champ in my opinion, but uh, I ain't like how that whole thing went down with Jai Bataille, Zupa Boxing, IBF. It's weird now because the IBF and Zufa is locked in. They doing eliminators and title fights and allowing their guys to actually pursue that sanctioned body. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand what was the issue with Jai Bataille. I know it was the Zufa belt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying they could have bypassed that. CBS, he just won a war against Ryan Rositzky. So we'll probably see, I mean, Obataia versus CBS maybe. Maybe Chev Clark got in that mix with that win over Maxi. So yeah, we'll see. Robert Safar, he won a silver title in his fight against Peralta. So he's pretty. He got a pretty nice ranking. He's with Golden Boy. Let's see what they do for him. Vidal Riley is supposed to fight the European guy. I know my man told me that the other day. Hakan told me that he's supposed to fight for the European title. Um, I thought it was September. I haven't heard nothing official. I know he'll get the winner between David Naika and Floyd Masson for the vacant IBF title for that was left vacant by Jai Bataille. Let me see. Kevin Lorraine, he done went back down to cruiserweight. He's number 5. He was a former Bridgerweight champ. Let me see. I don't know who else got something popping. Not sure. I think Ryan Rosicki gonna be out for a while. He took a lot of punishment. That was a crazy fight too. Moving down to light heavyweight, David Benavidez is still the WBC champ, light heavyweight. He's also the WBA regular champion, but look like he's going to campaign at cruiserweight. If he fight Noel, that'll be his second fight in a row, and that pretty much can close the door on light heavyweight because that's the biggest jump in boxing, 175 to 200. You know what I'm saying? So I can't foresee him going back down once he's settled in. So Benavidez is hot right now, one of the best in the game. Coming off that great performance over Zerto, stopped him. He's been having a lot of good performances as of late. So yeah, this is good. If he can get that three belts at cruiserweight, um, then possibly undisputed. If not, we definitely need to see Jai Bataille. They got to work that out for sure. All right, number 1, we got Arthur Beterbiev. 2, Ben Whitaker coming off that U.S. debut. Easy money against Richard Rivera. He looks sharp. Ben Whitaker been on one. Like I want to say, I guess since the Cameron rematch, I guess that's the same time he linked up with Andy Lee. But he been looking sharp. Yeah, he looked real good. So Eddie was talking about him coming back in October, maybe a domestic opponent. Shoot, they got plenty of them over there in light heavyweight. But Waxy, Hutchinson, Craig Richards. I mean, they rich heavy in the light heavyweight division in the UK. Oh, Jack Shelley. I mean, his name is in the mix after stopping David Morrell. So yeah, Ben Whitaker, I think he's nice. I think he may be a couple of fights away from actually challenging for a world title, depending on how that shit work. Like, yeah, he like that. Time is probably now sooner than later because he about to hit 30, right? So yeah, not Ben is like that. Um, we haven't seen Waxy for a minute. His name been floated around against Callum Smith in a rematch. I would take it, but he didn't look good in his last fight against Zach Parker. I thought Zach Parker won that fight. Um, Hutchinson. Maybe they can do that rematch. I'm not sure, but that's another tricky guy in that division because Willie can box. He's pretty good. Katiev, he had a 1-round shootout in his last fight where he got dropped and he came back and stopped the guy. Hot Rod Kalajic is likely going to fight for the Zuffa title against Omar Zabetkov, who has that knockout of the year candidate right there. That left uppercut, that shit was crazy. Let me see. Anthony Yard. I seen him ranked at cruiserweight in the WBA. So I'm not sure if he's gonna continue. So whenever he step up in competition, he's gonna get beat for sure. He gonna get beat. He looking like some bullshit right now. I thought he lost his last fight. The fight previously, I thought he ain't looked all that good. Once he step up against one of these top light heavyweights, he gonna get stopped or he gonna lose one or the other. Najee Lopez got a good fight coming up against Juan Carrillo. That's August 29th on Pro Box. That's a pretty solid step up. Actually, that's like a step up for both guys. So let's see who comes through with that. Super middleweight, Christian and Billy, WBC champ. He has Canelo. They pushed that fight from September the 12th to the end of October. They haven't dropped the official date, but that's right around the time when Riyadh Season do their opening ceremony. So I'm guessing it's off the top, maybe October 24th, maybe even Halloween. So whatever. Mexico versus the world. That's a pretty solid fight, and I'm not overlooking Billy in that fight against Canelo. I think if he push the pace and make Canelo fight, Because Canelo ain't really as active like that. I'm talking about like in the ring. Like he ain't throwing a lot of punches like he used to. I would say maybe a couple years ago, this style would have been tailor made for Canelo. But as he got a little older, it kind of lost a step or two. And Billy can get with him. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Interim champ Lester Martinez. He gonna have a title defense against the number 3 contender Luca Planet. That is August 29th. Not a bad fight. Wonder if the WBA would sanction unranked Joe. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I remember, man, they known for doing shit like that. They're known for doing shit like that for sure. Uh, I remember they did it for Fundora. When Fundora fought, he fought the African fighter on the undercard of Spence versus Danny Garcia. And he was originally supposed to fight somebody else, but the dude pulled out and they made an exception and they ranked that guy. So I'm pretty sure has denied sanction last month because he unranked. Sure, let's see. Let's see what they do. Um, just to save the show. It probably makes sense for them to face Joyce's opponent, the Russian fighter that's already ranked. But maybe their promoter don't want to match those guys up yet. We'll see. But hopefully they can save the card. Yeah, so Lester Martinez, yep. Him and Planet, that's pretty solid. Where do you see Us's belts going? What's good with you, Andre? I see. Gassiev, he's the sole WBA champion, so that's one. Um, IBF, Frank Sanchez gonna fight for it, but I see Frank Sanchez versus Jodolov. The IBF ordered Frank Sanchez and Moses Atama. Moses Atama got a fight date already lined up with Herkovic. Already been announced. It's on pay per view. All that shit is sold. All that the marketing, the money is already put into that event. I don't know if he's gonna pull out that fight to take the Frank Sanchez fight, even though it's a world title shot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he do, maybe he don't, but I feel like it's already locked in. So I think he got like 3 days to confirm that he want to enter negotiations with Frank Sanchez, and I think we're coming up on that third day. I know it's a holiday coming up, so they probably wait to Monday. But I'm gonna go on the limb and say Frank Sanchez versus Joelov because those guys in those rankings, they got other shit going on. And then the WBC, they elevated Ajit Cabiel. So two of the titles, or two of the sanction bodies already got champions to replace Usyk, except for the IBF. Marlon Prince in the building was good. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that was him. PGH Big Dog in the building. What's good? Yep, that's that guy right there. Um, so yeah, Canelo and Billy, Jacob Bank number 2. He won an eliminator in his last fight. So let's see. He got a high ranking with the WBO as well. So he possibly can be the mandatory with the BO. And here, let's see who he'll be the mandatory for. He's with Gold Star with Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown is like one of the right hand mans of Turkey. He got a lot of guys with them. Like Hamza Shiraz is with him as well. Pacheco, he's gonna face Emmanuel Alim. I ain't really too tapped in with that fight because I feel like I don't know. Pacheco, I understand what he's doing. You know what I'm saying, but I ain't with it though. Bake the Bully is a WBA mandatory. He should be getting an opportunity at Jaime Munguia soon. Kevin Saggio is fighting tomorrow. This is 4th fight since losing to Pacheco. I like that. Jamal Charlo is facing junior middleweight. He's gonna stop that guy. He fighting in Australia on the Zoo and Spence card. I like Wilkins Matthew. He's good young fighter. Sergey Derevyanchenko, he has a crossroads fight with Jalil Hackett, July 28th. That's a fight he can win too if Jalil Hackett don't fix his defense. Troy Williamson, he's going to rematch Callum Simpson, who he stopped late last year, and he kind of got the short end of the stick because he should have been fighting for a world title, but pretty much his fight with Callum Smith should be a IBF eliminator. Stephen Butler, Stephen Butler has Berlanga. That's a potential shootout right there. And I seen Caleb Plant hitting the bag, and they said he might be coming back. Um, it is what it is, you know. Did you pick? I picked no. I picked Torres. I picked Torres because I seen that Sanchez had a bad, his knee was giving him trouble. So I thought Torres can take advantage of that, but I was wrong. Dude got slept. 160. Carlos Adames is the WBC champ. He's in negotiations with the IBF super middleweight champ Iglesias. I like that fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Um, there's talking about September. I'm with it. Jesus Ramos is the interim champion. He'll likely be on the Teofimo and Rolly card. They should officially announce that card pretty soon. Teofimo versus Rolly Romero. So Jesus will probably be on there. I'm thinking maybe he'll get the Sultanov. That's the WBC mandatory. He been mandatory, sheesh, for a minute. He fought at the WBC convention. I want to say 2024, maybe 2023. He's been mandatory for a long time. He was supposed to fight Adamas, but I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, middleweight division is having a resurgence with a lot of young guys, which is good. Yo Hernandez is a hot commodity. He's number 1 with the WBA and WBO, I believe. Yeah, I know he. I know he is with the WBA. He should be pushing to fight Lara. I think he wins that fight. If he stayed, I know the WBO is trying to get him to fight the winner between Janabek and Bentley. If Janabek decides to move up or something happen with the belt, it comes vacant, then Denzel Bentley will become WBO champion as interim. And then Yo-Yo will have to fight. Well, they'll have to fight each other. Yo-Yo will be the mandatory for Denzel Bentley. So that's a lot of drama. That's a lot of waiting around. Why not go get the Lara fight? Lara fight every now and again, every so often. Shit, push for that. But Cubans don't really fight each other, so that's probably um, that probably ain't gonna happen. Bilal Jitsu, yo, he's pretty good. He's an action packed fighter. He's supposed to fight George Ladard. That's a tough fight for George. I like it though. That kid tough. The Frenchman, he's tough. I think he used to train. I think he trained with Freddie Roach too. He said Adama should beat him. I like Iglesias, but maybe he could. He got a lot of tricks, so I wouldn't be. I can see that. They would have got the nod against Triple G. Yeah, he deserved that opportunity too. Yeah, Derevchenko, he deserved winning that fight. Yo-Yo versus Amari Jones. Amari Jones will probably fight the winner, but Amari Jones will fight the winner between Aaron McKenna and Ulaha for the vacant IBF. He's the IBF mandatory. Yeah, it is. Some young guys is coming through. Yeah, let's see. I know they fighting the catch weight 158. So yeah, for Spence and Zoo. Wouldn't mind saying Jahad Tugg. That's a good fight. I haven't seen him in a minute, but yeah, he was actually when they pulled him up to face Munguia, he was campaigning at 160. Let me see. Fedor Shikazin got a nice ranking at number 4. Amari Jones is the IBF mandatory. Vito is number 2 with the WBO. He's going to fight Ammo. That's September the 4th. That's a solid fight. Shane Mosley Jr. Zuffa boxing. He'll probably fight Andres Kakarakis. I can see that. Both Zuffa boxing. That's a good fight. Troy Isaac just came back with Salida, so he's in the mix. Hopefully. He won the WBA regional title. Callum Wash is going to face Tyler Denny. That's a tricky fight for him. If Tyler Denny is on his game, he can do some good stuff in that fight. When Yo-Yo getting back, I don't know, bro. I don't know. He should be pushing for the Lara fight. The same. My man Phyllis Nunez in the building. What's good? The same way we push for Keyshawn and Shakur to fight, they should be pushing for Yo Yo and Arislani Lara to fight. Um, yeah, Vito versus Ammo. Yeah, September the 4th, bro, in New Jersey. Um, yeah, Jahad Tucker, he's in there. He got a good win over Cedeno. That was a real good win. Salute to him. Yes, sir. Put them guys in the mix. That's good for the middleweight division with the young guys coming through. 154. Sebastian Fundora is the WBC champ. He has a mandatory. I can't pronounce this kid's name. Amar Hajibur, number 1, right here. This is the guy who he's gonna fight. He just beat Bakari Samaki. Y'all see it highlighted right there. He's not a bad fighter. Southpaw, kind of tricky. This fight. So I know Boots is he just coming off exciting performance by winning the unified titles, and then it came out that they working on a fight with Sebastian Fundora and Jaron Ennis, which that'd be a dope ass fight. But that shit was just jumping the gun, low hanging fruit type of narrative that whoever put that out didn't do their research, because this kid that I got highlighted, he always was going to fight Fundora next. He always was. And I know Virgil is an interim champion, but he's in a litigation right now. Like, how he gonna make a fight with with Virgil, and this dude don't even know where he's standing with his own promoter. So Virgil is out the window. So now the narrative is Fundora's ducking Boots off of a kind of in a not like a crazy ass narrative that like the whoever put that piece out didn't do their research, and they wasn't even tracking, or they wasn't even paying no attention to this guy right here that I have highlighted. So now what people do right now, instead of doing their research, they go off the headline and they go with it. So when Samson came back around and said, "Hold on, hold check, y'all. We not doing that fight because we have a mandatory that's been in the works." So now it's making it seem like Fundora is ducking. So maybe Samson do move him in a certain way, but if you're gonna fall for every headline in the book and not do your own research behind that, then you're the one to blame, because this always been the fight. And real ones know this. The ones that's really tapped in with this shit, they know this is gonna be the next fight. It's just y'all late to the game. So we'll see this probably the end of the year. If I had to guess, this would tag team with the Benavidez card. If Benavidez he unified with Noel McKaylen, Fundora versus Mandatory, I can see that on that card for sure. But I had to clear that up because a lot of people they go with the low hanging fruit, and then they don't do their research, and then they may have some past issues with Fundora and Samson, whatever, and then they'll start jumping the gun, not knowing what they're talking about. And this shit always been in place. And I already put this out on my Twitter. Maybe you guys ain't seen it. It's all good. But when this mandatory, when he fought the final eliminator against Bakari Samaki, the Pro Box TV picked up that fight last minute. And I'm like, when that shit like that happened, they normally invest it. When you see Paro got the PBC logo on his poster, they invested in Paro. You know what I'm saying? They got a hand in what's going on in his career. So they don't just doing that shit for no reason. That random ass fight that was in Germany looked like they was fighting in a damn gymnasium. Pro Box picked it up. You know what I'm saying? So me thinking that that's being tapped in, I'm like, shit. What's the tea leaves to that, right? ProBox and Samsung work together. Samsung and ProBox, they've been working together for the last couple of years, putting fights on. They got a deal going on with them. So why not showcase a potential opponent of Sebastian Fundora, well, his next opponent? That way, most fans can get, tapped in with whoever it is, and then they're gonna make the fight next. And then another clue that gave it away that he's gonna fight Fundora. He went to Mexico and got his belt. every fighter that go to Mexico and Mauricio Solomon give them the belt and honor them and all that shit, they gonna get the world title shot. O'Shaquie Foster went down there. Shit, O'Shaquie Foster went down there after he beat Fulton for the interim title. He went down there. Now he's in a great position. You know what I'm saying? So, um, that's some of the stuff that a lot of fans not tapped into. You can't call them. It's not the casual fans. The new casual fans are the content creators that don't do their full research. That's the new casual fans. Casual fans don't give a fuck about this. You know what I'm saying? So this a little, little game. Hopefully y'all get it or take it or pass it along. But that's what be messing up boxing because um, we'll see like a big time, the big media post something, and we automatically think it's 100 without doing our research. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people behind the scenes, myself included, that can tell you yes or no. Like, yeah, that's it right there. Or, I don't know, bro. Nah, I don't know. Let's wait and see. So, that's on y'all. If y'all take shit and run with it. You know what I'm saying? That should be funny. That shit never gonna stop either because people want to push certain narratives. But it's all good. We're gonna keep it pushing. Get back in the chat. Um, you think Ammo? Yeah, he's live in that fight, bro. I think he could win that fight given the right game plan. But I'm just concerned about how much punishment he took in that Carlos Adames fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. That's March 4th. That's the Friday night in New Jersey. Vito just signed with Matchroom, so that's good. Yeah, that's a good opportunity. Yep, for sure. That's a good ass fight. Um, yeah, I like it. That's what's up, man. It's good for the division too. You think Pacquiao going to get? Yeah, I think he will. If he want that fight, he'll get it for sure. Paro is in a voluntary state, and I think, yeah, he'll get it if Pacquiao want it. Virgil need to be aiming for Fundora to get back in the mix. That's fine. I mean, yeah, that's cool. You know, that's cool. I'm with it. Virgil need to get his shit together first with his legal stuff. Then, yeah, we can see that for sure. But honestly, when Virgil come back, he need to fight Boots. This pick up where you left off. You know what I'm saying? Go get that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the biggest fight. Virgil Fundora. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Whenever it happens, that's gonna be crazy. How the fuck you know all this stuff, bro? Yeah, I tapped in, bro. I just pay attention more. I don't do nothing so crazy. I just pay attention a little more. I watch damn near all the fights. You know what I'm saying? I do my research. I go, okay, I see these guys that's why I do these rankings. I see these guys in the rankings, right? So when I get off of here, you know what I go do? I go to BoxRec, pull up some of their fights. I'll go to BoxRec, see who they fought. You know what I'm saying? If I don't know already, then I go watch their fights so I can get familiar with them. Then I see which promoter they're with. I go on BoxRec and see, okay, click on events and see who promoted that fight. And some names I recognize, like this kid, the mandatory. He's with I forgot his name, but he's a promoter from Turkey. He's the same guy that got Canelo. Remember Canelo fought that dude? What's his damn name? That mandatory everybody was mad at. Fuck, yo. He fought Anthony Durrell. He had a good fight with Durrell. Chris Eubanks stopped him. I can think of his damn name right now. But he got an Yildirim. There it is. I appreciate that. We're getting old, but I know what I'm talking about. So that promoter, he represents Yildirim. Got Yildirim a shot at the WBC title. I thought maybe, man, look, I thought he kind of edged out the fight with Anthony Durrell. That was a good fight, close. But then he tested positive. Then he got the Canelo fight. I mean, they was adamant that he was the mandatory for Canelo. After Canelo beat Callum Smith, they was like, Yildirim, that's the guy. He's the mandatory. And how he gets so much push and all that shit, how they, like stamping him as this mandatory because the relationships that his promoter has with the WBC. That's how that shit works. You know what I'm saying? So I just pay attention to that shit. That's just how I be figuring stuff out. I'm not better than none of y'all. It's just I pay attention probably more than y'all. For real. Ryan from the Six, what's good with you? I understand, LW. I see your math, and yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just pay attention a little more. Yeah. Um, I find that if you ignore the noise, all the nonsense, this game is pretty man, it is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I listened to Eddie Hearn interview, and he'll say, let's say he talking about a certain fighter fighting. He'll name like 5 fighters, and then like maybe the last one, that'd be the one. He'll throw in the mix. I'm like, hold on, he just named like 3 guys that I know he ain't gonna fight. He gonna fight that guy. That's how I be figuring shit out. Yeah, Yildirim, I remember. Yeah, Yildirim. You know what I'm saying? So if he can get Yildirim a Canelo fight after testing positive for a banned substance, he can get this kid Fundora for sure. He said, he said, season. I appreciate that, bro. Season. I appreciate that. What's good with you, Anne McQueen? Salute. I love Pat, bro, but I ain't trying to fight Paro. He probably get that opportunity. Yeah, he probably get that opportunity. But see, that's the thing too. What my man said, if you do, you block out all this other shit that people be saying, and the content creators on here, people fall in love with that, and they hear the news and all that, and they like it a certain way because they might agree with that narrative. But a lot of times it be off. It's just because if I don't fuck with something, I don't fuck with you, I can go in on that all day, and people will show up to support that. But if you really, like I always say, I like to look at shit from in the sky. Like I like to go in the sky and look at shit per se and say, hold on. That's why I'm never like I can see it both ways. If you ask me for a breakdown, I'm gonna tell you both ways, and then I make a decision on who I think will win or whatever. But all right, back to this. So 154 is one of the highest divisions in boxing. Got some good names. Brandon Adams and Bachman was supposed to fight IBF final eliminator. Bachman's team won the purse bid. They was trying to take that fight to Russia. Brandon Adams' team then don't like the security situation over there with the drones and all that shit, so they bypassed that. So Bachman, he might be the IBF mandatory because 2 guys turned them down already. Kevin Ajako, because he's going to fight uh, Josh Kelly on the 25th of July, and then now Brandon Adams. So when that happens in the IBF, that team of the fighter, Bachman's team, can go to the IBF and say, hey, let us be the mandatory. We're a former champ. You know what I'm saying? So they'll probably grant him that. That's why I'm saying Boots and the winner between Josh Kelly and Ajaku and Boots, they should go ahead and make a deal right now. Go to the IBF right now. Go to them right now and say, hey, this is what we plan to do. Because once they order or they have a mandatory in place, they likely going to push that shit. Because Kelly is authorized one voluntary. You know what I'm saying? In order for him to get a second one, they need to go over there and drop a letter and say, look, this is what we're trying to do. Work with us on this one, and then we'll fight the mandatory after that. You know what I'm saying? So if the winner, if they order Bachram, you know what I'm saying, and those guys haven't did that, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Even Bachram would take step aside money. He made a living off of taking step aside money for years, for about 3-4 years. So what's one more time? You know what I'm saying? So this is what the regular boxing fans don't know. They just think, oh shit, he ducking. They'll say that they ducking Bachram or some shit. That's what they'll say. So there it is. Xander, they put Xander at number 4 coming off that loss, but I think he's gonna end up creeping up to 160. Tim Tszyu, he got a big fight coming up with Earl Spence. So he's number 1 with the WBO at 154. But they fighting above the weight limit, but it's all good. Bakari Samaki is gonna face Usman Lima in November. That's actually a pretty even match fight right there. Ismael Flores, he coming off an upset win over Isaac Lasario. Verone is with Pro Box. Majimov, he might be the backup opponent if Boots can't get a big fight, unification, or a big name. Look at Jorge Garcia. He might be somebody's opponent coming back. Abaz Baru, him and Giovanni Santillan is scheduled to fight September the 11th on Pro Box. Look at Barrios. Barrios might get a world title shot before a lot of these guys because he's linked in. The PBC love Barrios. He moved up to 54. 147. So Ryan Garcia's WBC champ. He just took the belt from Barrios. Z Pacino was good. Most people would rather scream about ducking and other. Yep, that's facts. Yeah, I'm telling you, it'll help you out, man. And I know you definitely tapped in with that. Salute to you for that. For real. That shit would help. You know? If you had to guess, who could you see Conwell fighting next? Oh, that's a good question. Sheesh. Um, I don't know, man. To be honest, because I think that probably get him a fight just to get back in the mix. Um, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know if you want to get him somebody so tough coming off a year. I see he got that new ranking with the WBO, so maybe they. I don't know. He said next for Kane Sandoval on some Zuffa boxing shit. Maybe Vlad Plana, maybe on that Zuffa boxing shit. Ryan Garcia, him and Conor been linked up to fight. I mean, I guess the door is wide open for them to go ahead and fight September 12th, since Canelo and Billy got pushed to October. So I'm guessing that's it. I seen the clap back Thursday yesterday, so you never know. You never know. Money talks. But Ryan and Conor go ahead. Go ahead and make the fight, I guess. Conor Ben is the mandatory. So I guess I don't know what they're waiting for. So they might as well do it. Suleiman Sissoko, he got done dirty. They did him dirty. He won an eliminator against Mean Machine. And then Conor Ben was fighting at 160 and then took his spot. Then it just left him out. So I don't know. Maybe Courier versus Sissoko. I'm not even sure. You like Zuffa so far? Yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's just like any other. See, my shit is like I'm not looking at a point like they gonna take over boxing or nothing like that. I'm looking at the aspect that there's more fights. You know what I'm saying? There's more platforms that got boxing. So if they're gonna bring more boxing to the table, I'm tapped in. So that's how I'm looking at it. Let me see. Golden Boy got a solid stable of welterweights. Curiel, Arnold Barbosa, what my man at? Alexis Rocha. So those guys can mix and match. Brian Norman, number 4. He's number 2 in the WBO, so he creeping right back up there. He had a good performance too. Teofimo and Rowley. I see Johan Polanco, Pacquiao. The Pacquiao is not ranked with the IBF right now. So once you see Pacquiao get ranked with the IBF, you already know what it is because that means those sanction fees went through. And it's just kind of like a final confirmation. Like Teofimo Lopez, he throughout his whole career, he rarely been ranked in the WBA, and then he wasn't ranked like last month. Now he's ranked number 6 for Rolly. It's just confirming those sanction fees gonna go through. Igis Kavalauskas, he's still around. He's OG now. He just signed with DMG Boxing, so I'm not sure. He's supposed to came back recently. Jack Rafferty coming off a good win, make his welterweight debut. He looked pretty strong there. Rafferty versus Conor Walker seemed like a fun fight. Jen Sasaki got a fight coming up. He's in Vegas out here. Sasaki's out here in Vegas sparring with Charles Conwell and shit. So yeah, Jen Sasaki, 140. Dalton Smith, he's the WBC champ. He got an injury, nursing an injury. His fight with Playo got postponed, pushed back, whatever you want to call it, in June. and they supposed to fight in October. It looked like I seen that Playo gonna have a comeback fight in 2 weeks down in the Dominican Republic to stay active. So I don't know. Let's see. That's a good fight. That was a fight I was looking forward to. You know, Dalton Smith and Playo. I feel like that's a good fight. So we'll see if something happens that Dalton Smith can't defend that title. Don't be surprised if we get Pitbull Cruz versus Playo for the full title. Excuse me, because you see Pitbull is the interim champ. You know what I'm saying? That's a PBC easy fight to make. So if they slide Dalton Smith to champion and recess while he's injured, I can see that, yo. I can definitely see that. But time will tell. He said, "Facts, bro. Competition is good. Yeah, it's good. As long as we get to watch more boxing, that's how I am, bro. Like I don't care about the politics of it. Isn't Ben going to be ridiculously? Man, that's the question, bro. That's the question. He fought Regis at 150 his last fight. His punch, he don't have the punching power no more. Since the PEDs, he only scored one knockdown. That was against a depleted Chris Eubank. No, he ain't punching. He aggressive and he swinging them like he got power. I was there live when he fought both of his fights, his comeback fights. The one in Orlando, he was throwing them punches. He was swinging for the fences. Dude won't going nowhere. And then the Pete Dobson fight, he like his punches like I don't know. Matchmaking's been good. That's all a boxing fan can ask for. Yep, that's facts. Yeah, that's all that's all we should be worrying about to be honest. But is that that media age. Oh, that'd be a fun fight. Not for sure. Um, I'm not sure when Duarte gonna come back. He nursing some injuries, but yeah, I'll take that fight. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Cause Playo, he he gonna throw punches. I got the wrong damn banner up here. Ha! That'd be yo. Yeah, let's switch. That's crazy. Um, that is an interesting style matchup because Playo he gonna let his hands go. But can he kind of like put a dent in Pitbull? That should be crazy. Let's see. Ryan Garcia, I like this last performance. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was nice. Like his pops had him looking good in there. He was using some lateral movement. He was boxing. He was taking it to Ryan. I mean, Barrios, and I like that he was unleashing that right hand. And that's that when Ryan got his right hand cooking, he's a problem because we know the left hook is coming. But yeah, no, Ryan looked good his last fight. That's probably one of the best performances he's had in his career. I know that was Barrios, but just some of the stuff that he was doing. He was mixing up his attack. He was taking a walk. He was boxing. He was using a good jab. Like Ryan was on point. Yeah, he did. That was a good fight though. That was a good fight. Um, yeah, safety first, but he's actually a guy that will let his hands go. He's just he don't got the pop like that, but he let his hands go. Pitbull, his name been linked in with what's the kid? The kid Rolly was supposed to fight. uh, Nesta Bravo. They had put Nesta Bravo in the WBA rankings, but since Tio got that fight, they removed him. That's crazy. So we'll see. Yeah, Playo, Sandor Martin number 2. I feel like I think a perfect fight for I think Sandor Martin is a perfect fight for the young kid Emiliano Vargas. I think that's the fight right there. I think if he fight Sandor Martin and beat him, I think he'll be okay for a world title right there. Because Sandor Martin is a crafty guy. He's smart. He can box. He been there with the best. I think if he can beat him and beat him handily, I think then him fighting for a world title might not seem so crazy right now because they got Emiliano number 1 in the WBO for Shakur. Um, he should stop Ben. What you thinking? I think he could, for sure. Ben is tough though, but yeah, I think he gonna outbox Ben. Um, he beat him in your opinion. I thought he won that fight too, but see, this is what I'm saying. Player always in close fights. I thought he beat Matisse. I thought he beat Antoine. Well, I thought he lost to back to Armadale. I thought Armadale got him, and I thought Sandor Martin got him too. But the only thing in that fight though, Sandor Martin he kind of finished kind of slow. Like he didn't finish strong. Yeah, I thought Sandor edged it too. So he had some close fights. 140. 140 is a dope division too. Adam Azim, he might go down the IBF route. Arthur Belasanov, he's gonna fight for the vacant IBF against the Landolfo Delgado. That's probably be on Canelo's card. Let's go versus the world. Matisse #5. Oscar Duarte. Pierce O'Leary, he got a fun fight coming up with Mark Chamberlain. So look at these names. Pretty good names. John Robio, he's at #8. He's good. I think he'll be back. When we gonna be back? Maybe September the 3rd on that Eye of the Tiger card. John Fernandez, Andy Hiralco. Man, it's a good man. Look at these names. Kente Lee. That's a new entry right there. Brian Flores. He's fighting Jonathan Navarro coming up on Pro Box. That's July 18th. And then you got Carlos Utria. That's the kid that won the WBC Grand Prix. We need to get him in the mix. Shit, let's get him in the mix. He said Martin beat him. Yep. Yes, sir. I think he gonna win that fight. Yeah, he good. See, 140 is a good division, bro. That's why I'm kind of maybe I'm critical of Tito Mercado because he don't have to fight that shit. That opponent he just fought, Burgos. Burgos was a name back in the day, but Burgos been faded. You know what I'm saying? So stopping him ain't really that crazy now. But all these names right here I just named, he can't fight one of these guys. Who else is rumored for the Canelo and Billy Carter? Man, I don't even know. They've been keeping a close lid on that. I don't know. I was actually thinking Pitbull Cruz would be on there since he's working with Eddie Reynoso. Um, Navarrete, I guess. I don't know, bro. They've been real quiet on that shit. Um, Picasso. That's okay. That's on. Okay, that's shit. I take it. Ha. Now that's cool. But can Picasso? What weight would that fight with Picasso? Is that featherweight? Meant to ask you about 54. What happens with man? I don't know. What happened to Castano? I don't know. Last time I seen him, he was getting somebody ready. Fuck. He was in training camp with Goucher. It was maybe when Goucher fought Adamas. He said 122. Okay, I'm with that fight. That's the last time I heard from him. But even if Tito Mercado can't fight one of these guys in the top 15, look at 16 through 24. Jermaine Ortiz, Frank Martin, Elvis Rodriguez, that's due for boxing. Michelle Rivera, where the hell he been at? Zor Adelev, John Manu, Gabriel Gallus, he probably going to IBF route. Jose Nunez. So it's no reason why Tito Mercado is fighting these old ass faded fighters, bro. Then calling out the best fighters in boxing. His call outs ain't matching his matchmaking. It's not on par. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to call it out because I think he's a good fighter. I think he'll give a lot of these guys trouble, even at welterweight. All right, we have a vacant title right here. We have Lamont Roach versus Williams Zepeda going to fight for the vacant WBC title. That's coming up August the 1st. The winner's supposed to fight Yadier Herrera, but it seems like a deal is in place for the winner to fight the IBF champ. Raymond Atala is defending his title on that undercard against Ropes and Conceição. Winners fight each other in unification. That's dope. We need that. I think Arthur can win. But there's a couple of pockets in the fight of Lipinets. Yeah. Oh yeah. But Landolfo been trending down though. He's been trending down his last couple of fights. I thought he lost to Gallus. Gallus beat him, and he ain't look all that against Elvis Rodriguez, another southpaw. Yeah, I think he'll beat him though. I mean, let's see. The Gallo does have Robert Garcia in his corner, so he always a factor. But I think he got that one. Um, Demetrius Asanu, he's number 3. Oh, that's a nice ranking. That's the eye of the tiger right there. Andy Cruz, number 4. We know Andy Cruz lost his opponent, Albert Bell, who's going to take on Abdullah Mason tomorrow. That's an interesting fight too. But will Andy Cruz stay on that card with Pacheco, or will he just, go after another eliminator? You know what I'm saying? Because he's still in position. He might have to go to Russia to fight that eliminator. Um, we'll see. But I never liked Andy Cruz on that undercard anyway because they fighting in the you know what I'm saying, they fighting in the stub hub. And I'm I've been to the stub hub a couple of times, shit, probably about 5 or 6. And I'm gonna say this: if you're trying to use lateral movement and box and all that shit, bro, they booing your ass. You can just be setting some shit up. You can still score the knockdown, but a knockout. But cause see what it is, all the fights there, they be wars, even the undercard fights. So you got a lot of Mexican fans, they drinking Modelo's, they already in the fighting mood. So you take a step back, they ain't trying to see that. And Andy Cruz has been aggressive and everything, and he's been the Mexican assassin, you know what I'm saying, early in his career. So maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. And a lot of those fans remember him because that's gonna be in Southern California. They remember Ray Mortala beat him, and he's from around that area. So I would say just take him off the card. Shit, put him on September 4th. Shit, put him on September 4th. Robio, Vargas, Mercado, and yeah, I think that's a good kind of a bridge type of fight. You know what I'm saying? I say Matisse now because Matisse take a lot of punishment. His defense ain't like that. Yeah, Carson. Yeah, bro. If you like, I'm telling you, they'll boo the shit out you. They was booing Rajon Chance. He fought there on the undercard, one of the first fights, but then he scored a knockout, and then they started cheering and shit. Once you start using lateral movement, bro, they booing the shit out you. And I don't know if that he need that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I ain't the promoter. Sam Notes, he's in a good spot. Justin Paul though, his name been linked with Alan Chavez. That's a good fight. Paul been on a nice little run. Yeah, bro. They be thumping in the crowd too. They be thumping. Yep, they do. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, Chavez and Paul that's a good fight if that happens. But Chavez is in a position where he gonna be fighting for a world title too. I want to see how Eddie move him. Ricardo Nunez, he must got pictures of the WBC president. He's coming off a knockout loss to Yair Herrera, and he ain't done nothing of note, and he's still number 9. Joe Cordina is still the mandatory for Mason, so if he can work out his legal issues, they'll probably reorder that fight for the fall for Mason if he wins, or for the winner tomorrow. Lucas Body is going to face Floyd Schofield for the vacant WBA. I like Jordan White. Mark Masayo versus Andres Cortez. Zuffa Boxing. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. He's been doing this thing. Doing this thing. He should get a big name or a big opportunity coming up. 130, we got Shockey Foster, WBC champ. He got a new mandatory interim champ, Ryan Gardner, but I'm not sure if they're going to order that next. Shockey Foster's in negotiations with Navarrete. Let's see if they can make that. They should. That's the best fight for the division. Um, and that seems more realistic that both guys are on top rank. Navarrete is a unified champ, IBF and WBO. it just makes sense to make the Shockey Foster fight. Shockey, he's on a nice road right now. He understands now. His boxing ability is nice. His IQ is, getting better and better. You know, um, two good performances. The back and forth with him and Shakur. I wouldn't mind that fight either, to be honest. But we'll see. I like the Navarrete fight because I feel like he need the opportunity to finish matters at 130 before he go to 35. And I think if he beat Navarrete, he's good. I think he can just go ahead and lead the division and be cool. And his name will be popping for sure. Well, it's popping now, but with that win, that's like Navarrete is like a career win for him. You know what I'm saying? And will put him in certain rooms where he want to be to get those big fights. Ryan Gardner, no, he had a good performance with Manisi. That was a good fight. Those guys was standing toe to toe the whole fight. Ryan Gardner got the victory. Um, he can get some big names over there in the UK. Um, I know Kakashi is in. Kakashi has a mandatory, and I'm pretty sure the deadline is either today or was yesterday. Maybe they announced the information on Monday because we got holidays and shit, a holiday weekend. So yeah, Ryan Gardner is good. You know, uh, you got number one Khalid. He's a silver champ from France. Golem, I seen him fight a couple of times. Mr. Gary Russell, number three. I mean, I wish he was more involved with the game where his name should be big enough to get some big fights. But the way his inactivity works, I don't know. Eduardo Nunez, I expect to see him back pretty soon, maybe in Mexico. Yakoval is with ProBox. My man, Erlenbeck, the Mongolian mole, number 9. He's good, yo. He's nice. He's a ProBox. Josh Pally, he gonna mess around and get a big fight too. Look at Oscar Valdez, number 12. Oh, look, yo, I wouldn't even be surprised if a Shockey Foster fight Oscar Valdez. I wouldn't be surprised. Mauricio Lara is a new entry too. I thought he was still suspended. Look at Lee Wood, number 14. 130 is crazy, man. When featherweight started to piss me off, yo, because I feel like we got 4 good champions. Here's Shushu, he's the WBC champ, but these guys look like they ain't even trying to unify. I don't know what's the hold up. Jordan White, yeah, yeah. He got a loss against Renee, but he's good. That's a man. That's a good win. That'd be his career defining win. To touch back on Michelle Rivera, he's suing. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Damn. Well, he gonna be out for a minute. Damn, that's unfortunate. I know. I heard something about that. That Salida was offering him fights and he was turning them down. Some shit. So featherweight need unification in the worst way, and a lot of these guys is actually available for unification, but I don't know what's going on. Shushu, he's defending his title this weekend against Rene Palacios. Palacios and Shushu share a common opponent, Suleiman Sagawa. I thought Sagawa beat Shushu, and then Palacios beat Sagawa. So let's see how this matchup look. Lorente is the mandatory for Shushu. You also have the champion recess, Ray Vargas, lingering out there. We ain't seen him in I don't know how long. But Lorente is coming off a big win against Nathaniel Collins. And he deserves an opportunity as well. Nick Ball, number 2, former champ. Omar Trinidad, he just got ordered to fight Luis Nunez for the IBF final eliminator. But he called out Angelo Leo. I was thinking he would be the mandatory for Leo since he already won the IBF eliminator for the number 2 spot. And Rais Salim, he failed to make weight and lost his number 1 position. So I was saying they would just make Omar Trinidad the mandatory. But maybe he still get the fight. But that goes to show if the IBF ordering that fight, that means them and Zufa are kind of working together, and they already showing that they working together as well already. Nakano and Semashi, 5 and 6, they're supposed to fight an IBF eliminator. Look at Joet. Joet should go to Zupa boxing. Joet fits. He basically been fighting everybody anyway. You know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't have no problem. Liam Davies. I want to see a path for him for a world title. What they gonna do with him? Maybe they do. I don't know. I like to see what they do with him. Brandon Mahia. He fought in that Grand Prix too. Look at Casemiro number 11. That shit's funny. Casemiro just stopped Luis Neri, so he take his spot basically. Jan Santana, I seen that he's his daughter going through a situation. Prayers up for her. I'm not sure if that's going to derail his career, but he didn't look good his last fight though. Jan Santana, he didn't look good. I think that was he fought on Keyshawn's undercard. Man, featherweight need unification, bro. Angelo Leo, IBF champ, he's in the clear for a voluntary next. Espinoza, his mandatory should be Lorenzo Parra, but I mean, shit, why not? Leo and Espinoza is both working with Tyrant. Top Rank got 3 world champions in the featherweight division, bro. B Figgy, the WBA champ, he probably going to Japan, you know what I'm saying, to make a defense. Man, that shit is weird. And everybody, I guess everybody just waiting for anyway. So this is what I'm saying. They'll probably call anyway a duck. If anyway go to 126, right, and choose to fight the weakest champion, who y'all think the weakest champion? Let's say maybe Figgy. Let's say Figgy, just for the sake of talking. And here you go fight Figgy, they'll say, oh, he ducking Shushu. But then the whole time, Shushu and Espinoza ain't fighting. Leo is not in that mix. But then the way the fans are set up now, they'll call anyway a duck for not choosing Shushu. That's just how that shit works. But they're not fighting each other. And they've been in the same division and champions in the same division for like over a year, pretty much. So anyway, he's undisputed, the only undisputed male champion right now. So I'm not sure what's like if he's gonna fight at the end of this year or just wait to try to get the band fight they're talking about in February. Either or, that's a big fight. If he's gonna wait for Bam, now I'm cool with that because anyway, he's been one of the most active champions in the last couple of years. He fought 4 times last year, didn't he? So I'm okay. He's coming off a good win over Jonto Nakatani. Nakatani would be back. He's coming off an injury too. Sam Goodman and Nishida, they're gonna fight for the IBF interim title. That's a good fight. So when you see an IBF interim title that's about to get fought for, that pretty much means the champion is on the clock. He's on the clock because the IBF don't keep interim champions that long. Because once they order one, they're gonna get their opportunity. Ramon Cardenas is coming back August 29th. MJ, his name been linked with Nick Ball. Picasso, my man mentioned something about Picasso earlier. Where's Shabazz Masu at? What that dude to be doing at MIA? He need to do one on him. Sebastian Hernandez. We ain't seen him either since the fight. It almost felt like he won that fight. Look at Jose Tito Sanchez. He had one of the best fights of the year too against my man. If I got his name, but that was on the undercard of Benavidez and Zerto. That was a fun fight. Kenny Lover, he moved up to 122, number 15. He coming off a loss to Michael Angeletti. I see him. 118, Tacoma anyway. So he'll probably run it back with Tenshin Nagasawa. That's his mandatory. Tenshin, he just did Estrada kind of dirty. So they're going to run that back, look like. Andrew Kane, he should got his opportunity, but I don't know if he's going to get, well, I ain't hear about no punishment, but they jump B Figgy after he stopped Nick Ball and shit. He jumped in the ring acting crazy. Jason Maloney, he's back in the mix. Let me see. Oh yeah, Gonzalez. That's who Andrew Kane fought. I wouldn't mind seeing him run that back though, because Gonzalez had him hurt. He came back to stop him. Michael Angeletti, he's the IBF mandatory, so he should be getting his opportunity at Salas, the champ. Antonio Vargas, number 11. I see him. I think Manny Rodriguez is a dark horse in 118, former champ, if he can get the opportunity. All right, so we have a vacant title right here with the WBC 115. We know Bam Rodriguez vacated his titles, moved up to 18. He beat Antonio Vargas now. He's in position for unification against Christian Medina. So, number 1 versus number 2. Tamoyo Sabu versus Ricardo Makalahet. I can't remember. Makajit Kid. The kid from South Africa, yo, he can fight, yo. He can fight. This is not like, I don't know. It's a tricky fight for Sabu, who got a couple of fights. And he's dynamic. He can punch. Got a lot of skills. But the South African could get him some trouble. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think so. I think he'll move up and fight him and try to get what, a third? Was that third division? 3 divisions for him? Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest fight for Maloney in that division since Bam left. So I say he take it. Um. So yeah, those guys supposed to be fighting for the vacant WBC coming up. Real soon. Should hear an announcement. Former champ Okui might be fighting for the WBA title against David Jimenez coming up. So yeah, bro. Nick Quoley, number 10 from South Africa. He's the IBF mandatory. Scrappy is number 1 with the WBA, but it looks like he might like get that title shot next. So yeah. 112. Let me get that out here. Ricardo Sandoval. He is the unified champ, WBC, WBA. He was supposed to fight his mandatory Galal Yufa, but I'm not sure. He said looking forward to Kofi return. Yeah, the former champ, damn, he's going to fight for IBF Eliminator. Nasinga. Yeah, they got some good fighters. Yeah, they do. They got some good fighters. Kuz, yep. Um, so this situation, Lee Jackson in the building was good. Galal Yufa is coming off, a tough fight with Rodriguez. The dude was on PEDs. He took a lot of punishment, and he's injured. So kind of like, look, they have like a couple of guys, UK guys, are suffering some injuries. Dalton Smith, Callum Smith, and Galal Yufa. They might be out possibly the rest of the year, depending on how they recover. So that can open up the door for Ricardo Sandoval to fight Asa Colazo. That's a solid fight. Colazo will be moving up from 105 to 112. We seen him fight in that division. His last fight, he had a bunch of stuff going on. His fight, late replacement. The guy couldn't make the weight. So that was just like a prelude. That was just he just had his tune-up fight in a new division, basically. That's all that was. They even put a regional title on the line. So I could see Sandoval versus Colazo on the Ryan Garcia card. Ryan Garcia versus Conor Ben. If Golden Boy can put some fights on that card, I can see that. I can see that. Yes, sir. So yeah. 112, we got Yabuki's the IBF champ. WBA. Who's the WBA champ? Damn, I forgot. So, Anthony Oscar-Waga, though, this dude needs to unify. No, the WBA champ is Sandoval. The WBO champ Oscar Wilder. Now he's been on a good tear. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple of defenses. His fight in July got postponed. Well, got canceled. The one they supposed to do in San Francisco. They were supposed to push it back to July the 24th in Vegas, and that shit got canceled altogether, from my understanding. So Oscar Wilder versus Yabuki, that's the fight right there. Yabuki gonna go up to 15 to try to get another belt. That's cool too. But I think it's time. I think after you become champ and you make like 2 or 3 title defenses, it's time to unify. It's time to, bro. You good. You should understand by now. So Walter is going to face his WBC mandatory Eric Badilio. That's coming up July 15th in Japan. That's a good fight right there. Badilio is a Samson fighter. They said no. They said Samson don't push his fighters to the smoke. So you know what I'm saying. There you go. You can't say no statement like that when you got so much proof. There's a lot of ground to cover because Samson been in the game about 30 some years. But Badilio, he's good. That's gonna be an action packed fight right there. We need some US TV. You got a couple of world champions in these sanctioned bodies. Nyan Strong, that's CP Freshmark. He's still kicking. He lost his title to Awata. Eric Rosa. Haven't heard much from him since he got stopped. Taniguchi up in there. Terry Washington at number 11. He had a man. He probably got a little gift in his last fight, against Axel. Axel was on him, making him work. And then 105. So my man Q's from South Africa, he just beat Jerusalem. I think he's gonna fight the Japanese fighter, number 2, Masamiyoto. I think he's gonna fight him. Um, yeah, that's an interesting fight too. Jerusalem may get his rematch after that. I think he has a rematch clause. We'll see. And that would be a trilogy if we can get that opportunity. Collazo is looking like he's going to go up to 112 and fight Sandoval, so we can close that chapter at 105 because he don't seem like he's that interested of unifying the division. He's, I guess he should be like. It's to me, it's really no big reason other than he just don't want to do it. That he should be fighting Pedro Todoran for the 3 belts, the IBF champ. That fight, man, that shit's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, that's the WBC rankings. Like I mentioned, you guys can find this on their website. If you guys interested in this, it helps me a lot keeping up with the game and keeping up with what's going on. You can see potential fights. You can see guys that probably was inactive. Then you see them hop into the rankings. It probably mean they got something coming. Um, yeah, you can see the play. A lot of people don't pay attention to this, and then they'll drop some clickbait, fake news, and then majority of the boxing fans gonna fall for it because the majority of the boxing fans don't even do research either. They just because they depend on this guy. Or like people that ride with me, they probably don't even read no articles or nothing like that or whatever. But a lot of people in my chat though, salute to y'all. Y'all be knowing shit, bro. I be loving that. So, but I know for the most part, some guys just don't. They just come listen to me, and I feel like you have that responsibility, bro. You gotta be on that shit for real. Like you're not gonna be perfect. That's a given. But some shit, I mean, like the Fundora stuff, like that shit was easy to read. And what we always do, every fighter, every big time fighter, or every fight we see, we gotta go ahead and match up. Like we gotta hurry up and match boots up. We trying to find out who he gonna fight next. He just stepped out the ring. You know what I'm saying? He haven't did his 30-day recovery yet, and we already trying to put him back in the ring. But you know what I'm saying? If it's easy to figure this stuff out, y'all. I'm telling you. Like my man Toker said, bro, it's easy. If you take away some of the noise and you just pay attention to the play, like how you guys watch a movie. I don't know if you guys like this, whatever. Y'all feel free, let me know. You watch a movie so many times, then you start noticing shit that you will never picked up if you watch it the first 2 times. Like, for example, like on Friday. when Craig's girlfriend was on the phone with him and she had a dude in the bed with man, bro, it took I done watched the movie about 100 times before I can realize, yo, she got a nigga in her, you know what I'm saying? She got a dude in her bed. So that's how it is with this boxing shit. I watch so much boxing, I'm starting to pay attention to the cornerman. Who in the back? Who, you know what I'm saying? Like who, like when they put the camera in the back and show these guys in the locker room warming up, I'm paying attention. Like, oh, I know him. He was on this guy's team or this, that, and the third. You know, I pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that helps me reveal or figure out some possible situations. Like, yo, hold on, because boxing is a small world, bro. Everybody really know each other. Like the ones that's in it, they know each other. You know, so that's how a lot of these fights get made. And just like anything in life, a lot of stuff get made. Oh, he would beat them up. He would beat them. Okay, I can see that because Bedelia is pretty solid. You know, basically everything like in life, how you get to certain situations is by networking, and it's no different with boxing, especially if it's a small kind of niche sport, and it don't really take too much to get tapped in with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you really don't have to do a lot of. You don't have to do no steps to be a boxing insider. Just know what you. Just be tapped in with shit. Like there's no game plan people give you. You just go out there and do it because there's no like checks and balances like that. You know, it's just if you know some shit and then you're an insider basically. Had a comeback fight in DR. I seen that. No, I seen that shit. Yeah, I seen that. I remember. I just know these guys like they don't have like crazy profile. Sometimes I forget some shit, but yeah, I remember that he did lose that fight. I watched it on the Sean Boxing YouTube channel. Yeah, yep. I appreciate the refresher for sure. Yeah, Rosa is. I think he may be finished because he took a beating versus my man, the former champ, the one who took his title. He took a beating. Yeah, bro. These guys, man, he a young guy too. Yeah, like I said, it only take a little bit. You being one hard fight, bro. That could Tacoma. Yeah, Tacoma. Yeah, he lost his title to Renee, right? Renee Santiago. So yeah. He probably moved up to 112. Well, like these guys, they take a beating. It can be the rap, bro. You know what I'm saying? One hard fight, that can be they can be done. They can be done. So that's why these guys they follow the business model, make the best decision, and that's why it goes away from this being a sport. It said Edwin's comeback was on the same card. Edwin does, yeah, that was December. Yeah. Yeah, those cards be long as hell. They had like 17 fights on there. The referee be getting jumped. You know what I'm saying? They fight the referee. Yeah, those cards. Yeah, I'm tapped in with those. They have to restart the broadcast and shit. It'd be like 3 different links to the fight. um, yeah, bro. When the fighters say this is a business, it's a business because they know one false move and it's a wrap. And if this your only source of income, that shit gonna destroy that. That's why these guys be taking all day making fights and shit. Like, and we call them a duck because they're making smart business moves or they're making whatever. That is what it is. Everybody in boxing had a scenario where you can call them a duck. Everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters, especially today's time, because everybody get called out or whatever, and this, that, and the third. And sometimes the fighter don't even know he got offered fights. You know what I'm saying? It be on the manager and the promoter or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy. But yeah, man, salute to everybody coming through the building. The IBF should be dropping their rankings pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? So we covered. We got the WBA, WBO, WBC today. IBF is next. Tomorrow we'll be back to do a preview of the fight card, the July 4th card. Abdullah Mason, Albert Bell, Bruce Carrington, Shushu versus Rene Palacios, WBC title. Tiger Johnson versus Christopher Guerrero. That's a good fight right there. That's a good fight. And we get to see Scooter Davis, one of the highest prospects, and then you got two of the Mason brothers on the card. So we're gonna cover that tomorrow in the lead up to the actual prelims. So do a little pre-show. He said, but then you get guys like Joey Gonzalez who will lose and keep getting fights. Yeah, no, that's true. It's a lot of guys like that that will lose because they got their team together. Because a lot of this shit is based on how good your team is. Look at Sergey Derenchenko. And, Sergey Derenchenko and Joey Gonzalez is basically one and the same. They just fight different weight classes. They probably in some fights they probably should have won. They didn't get the benefit of the doubt, but they stayed getting opportunities. Um, Look at TJ Doheny. I mean, he got knocked out by anyway, broke his back at 122. Then his next fight, he moved up to featherweight and fought Nick Ball. So these guys be having a solid team. I think he's with Frank Espinoza, I believe. Is in a category of a name who's beatable, like the small version of Barrios. Um, Joel is just one of those guys where he has some. He fought everybody. He has some tough outcomes and stuff. But I do agree with that. Like he is beatable. So like up and coming name, we'll try Joel. But I thought Joel beat Figgy though his last fight. The last fight I saw of his. But yeah, Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado is a gatekeeper. He turned into a gatekeeper. When Gabe Rosado decided to forego his IBF eliminator to fight for the IBF title at 154 back in the day to fight Triple G, he turned into a gatekeeper after that. You know, a tough one. He gave Charlo tough fights. Yeah, he beat Beck the Bully. But he just basically turned into a gatekeeper. He was robbed badly against Figgy. I thought he beat Figgy. Um, don't get it twisted though. I really enjoy watching Joet. Oh yeah, for sure. He always kind of fight. The only fight he was like kind of outclassed. Navarrete fight and Shakur. Navarrete beat his ass, beat him up. Had his eye looking crazy. I felt like he edged out the Dalbay fight. I felt like he did. I don't know, but yeah, some of those guys, they tough. They've been around. They get opportunity to have a good team to put them back in place. That's what a lot of this stuff that goes back to the business. A lot of these guys have good teams. Excuse me, and they always be in position because look at all the Keith Conley guys. Shit, he got them guys right. The ducking shit only applies to popular fighters. Nobody was screaming about Frank Sanchez. Yeah. Man, the whole IBF rankings turned down Frank Sanchez. Yep. They did. Yep. Herkovic, Moses, FA. Shit, who else? There was a bunch of motherfuckers. They done went through the shit. But that's how it is, though. If these guys not in the algorithm, they don't care about that. That's how you know it's only about certain shit. It's only about some views, or it's only about a narrative you want to push. Because we really keeping it a buck. It's a lot of guys that's in that position. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys. I remember Arthur Beterbiev when he was coming through, and nobody wanted to fight him for that vacant title. Nobody. Anderson, yeah, Anderson was in there. I think even Torres was one. Torres turned down somebody. Then they came back to him. So yeah, bro. Yep, that's a lot of dudes turning it down. Iglesias too. Shiraz, he was in that mix. Pacheco, Canelo, all those guys. That's why I was saying like the IBF should just jump straight to the guy. But I know they can't do that because they have to give the people the opportunity. Because if they jump straight to the number 7 guy, knowing they know that the other guys ranked in front of them not going to take it because of whatever obligations they have, injuries, whatever the case. Um, then the guys that they skip may come back and say, "Oh man, y'all didn't give me the opportunity." So that's why the IBF would go down the line and be patient. All right, Frank Sanchez versus Moses. Okay, then it'd be Herkovic is next. You know he gonna turn. Both of them gonna turn it down, but they gonna give them the opportunity. Then you just keep going. I think it's Anthony Joshua. Then I think Joel is number 6. So and Joel don't got shit going on. He got to take it at this point. He turned down Sanchez because he had a fight in Mexico. Or the fight he had November 15th. That was on Delgado and Gala's card. I saw that. Is the country behind him shit really in today's streaming? I think in some cases that like being a country behind you. I mean, it depends. I don't know if that really matters that much because it's not like big crazy stars like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that really mattered like that. I don't think that really applied today. But kept his ranking and I came back to him. Yeah, I remember. Jack Calleron turned down Hitchens and eliminated back in the day, and he's still crying about not getting a shot. Jack Calleron, man, I feel like he should have got that opportunity. He should have won that fight or got the nod in the first Taylor fight. But you know, a lot of these guys make these decisions though. A lot of them. Sometimes it go on. A lot of the times it go under the radar because it goes like Yo Hernandez. Why he not pursuing the WBA? He's been ranked number 1 in the WBA for a long time, longer than he was with the WBO. But now he's he gonna go the WBO route. So once you see that shit, you already identify. When I see people do that, I lose credibility. They lose credibility with me because I'm like, bro, it's easy just to just to be 100 and tell the truth or keep it a buck. At least acknowledge it. They don't even acknowledge it. They just feel like I gotta push this, push this, push this, push this. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all good though. Shit happens. It's gonna keep happening too because it's the way we are, the way we going with this boxing media and content. It ain't gonna never stop now. Full steam ahead. But yeah, that's my time, man. Salute to everybody coming through. I'll be back tomorrow, so look out for the notifications. If the IBF rankings comes out today, we're gonna come back today and we're gonna cover those as well. See what we can find in there. Salute to everybody coming through the building. That's my time, and I'm out.